Going on to all of you Aries. Let's get into it. So, wow. Immediately. Immediately. Okay. So you have the Ten of Cups. Immediately. You have the Emperor, Two of Cups, Fool, Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, the Star, Ace of Cups, the Nine of Swords. Okay, so by the way, if this reading resonates with you, feel free to contact me and get one of my services at, well, the link to my website will be in the comment section below. You can always pay for any of the services from directly from the website. You can hit me up through my Instagram as well. The link to that is also in the comment section, as well as purchase any of my books. That's on Amazon. So let's get into it. So for you Aries, the Emperor did show up, which is Aries, so you did show up in your own reading. Um, the Ten of Cups is some form of new height when it comes to a relationship for some of you, right? New height, the sense of freedom that has really washed over a lot of you Aries. Understanding that the Two of Cups represents, this is well, the Emperor is about you. The Emperor is about understanding that, like I said, there's a newfound sense of freedom. You're in control of your life. You like where the direction of your life is going. The Two of Cups is that you like the ability to have options, and have potentially multiple people. And if you don't have multiple people, just the ability to be single and talk to whomever it is that you want and kind of see things for the way that they are. And if things don't really work out, if this person ends up being a dub where you got to stop hanging out with them, then it is what it is. But it's not as stressful as the way that it used to be. It's not as diluted. Now the Fool is, right? The Fool is about, like I said, this newfound sense of freedom. But the Knight of Swords also can represent somebody coming in trying to, okay, this is a representation of how someone was from the not so distant past, right? This in the Fool of them trying to essentially come in, and every time they came in, it was always just the wrong type of news, right? They always needed some form of money. So this is you Aries going down memory lane, thinking about it, thinking about how you are now compared to how things used to be. And a lot of you Aries like where, right, you like being this Emperor. You like where things are right now, and you're appreciative of where things are right now. You like the fact that, compared to where things used to be, how people would rush in and you would know these people, or maybe you didn't, right? Of course you didn't at one point, but the two of you ended up being cool, right? And they waited a little while until they started asking certain things from you sometimes. And the favors just became bigger and bigger and bigger. But then you have the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is, right? So now they would try to they would try to apply pressure, where it was like they would try to act you in front of other people, right? And obviously if you didn't give it, obviously they were trying to make you look a certain kind of way. The Eight of Cups represents, well, a lot of you wasn't really dealing with that. A lot of you wanted to understand, a lot of you wanted to know if you really had someone that had your back, or if they was ultimately just hanging, they thought that you really didn't have a whole lot. And then when they found out that you may have something, that's when they started to try to leech off of you and see if you had anything, right? Once they determine for themselves that maybe you do have racks, or maybe you do have, some form of financial, income or something like this. So the situation with you is the Eight of Cups now here represents this being for you where so you left them alone, right? You left them alone. You saw you started to see it for what it was, and you started to understand through life experiences that things weren't necessarily going your way at that time, at least, because of the fact that these people weren't really meant to be trusted. The star card represents so the star card represents like leaving, like, how do I say, these types of people, the star card and the Ace of Cups. Some of these people even try to like be in a relationship with you, and try to get you to think that the two of you were good before they started asking you these types of questions, where if they could have money from you and do this, do that, do the other. And like I said, a lot of you Aries really realized how funny certain things were because, of course, a lot of you Aries are smart. A lot of you Aries can be smart. And a lot of times people will think that you're not necessarily the brightest bulb on a tree. They may not think that you're very smart, but little do they know, a lot of you Aries actually, when you really pay attention, a lot of you Aries actually are very up to par mentally. So what happens is that obviously whatever happened. Some of you they got, some of you they didn't, but then a lot of you Aries ultimately ended up seeing past through that and ultimately ending this relationship dynamic with them because you realize that it wasn't real. So the Page of Cups is, so now it's like being kind of being happy about this. A lot of you Aries kind of like, some of you Aries may be crying for joy. You know what I mean? Like that time where you have such a weight on your shoulders, where things start to loosen up a little bit, and that weight off your shoulder, the weight on your shoulders actually starts to slide right off, where things are starting to really look up for you and get better. And a lot of you, and like I said, right now, I'm just seeing how a lot of you Aries are in a situation where you're single and you really not trying to be in a relationship with anyone because at this current point in time, a lot of you Aries really are on self-discovery. You want to know who you really are. And I commend that and I respect that. Okay. So let's clarify the Ace of Cups. Matter of fact, let's clarify the Three of Pentacles. The Sun, the Ace of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Swords. Right. So the Sun, they would see you all happy doing your thing, right? And the Ace of Wands. Now all of a sudden, here, it always has to be some sort of plot twist, right? Where now all of a sudden they got to ask you for money, potentially in front of other people, right? In front of your so-called friends and stuff like this. And that's where the catch was, because for some of you Aries, you always used to realize like how unusual that was, at this person actually waits until you are in a situation where it's you and this other person that was supposed to be your significant other, and then they wait conveniently until you're in front of other people or you're hanging out with their friends or whatever, and now all of a sudden it's like if you say no, you're going to look like the bad relationship partner. The Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords represents eventually you stop caring about looking bad and you really realize that these people are trying to ultimately milk you for everything that you're worth, and they don't necessarily really care like that long term, how it is that you end up. They're just willing to ask you for favors and ask you for money so that they can go ahead and party and hang out with other people or whatnot, while at the same time you and this person are supposed to be in a relationship. You Aries are not going back to that. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords right quick. So to clarify the Nine of Swords, we have the Four of Cups, the Knight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. So the four of cups is that, again, the Four of Cups can sometimes represent memory lane, where it's you kind of thinking about your interactions with somebody else and how that interaction didn't work. And like I said, the Nine of Swords is you, some of you Aries, right, you more emotional ones will sit up and kind of cry for joy at how it is that you're so glad that you don't have to be in this situation, because these people would take your money and make you feel like trash if you didn't actually go through with giving it to them, right? And they would try to set you up in front of other people to where it would look like you were the bad relationship partner. The Knight of Swords, like I said, they some of them may have had a bad temper, but they would say certain things to you or whatnot if you didn't give them what they wanted. The Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles is now you're out. You're finished with that. You don't have to interact with that. And a lot of you Aries are not doing that. You're not going back to that anymore, ever. You're just not, So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers by the end of June 2023. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all.